All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going deep on something marketers talk about all the time, but how many of us are actually doing it well?
I see where you're going with this.
We're talking about really connecting with your customer, like
Yeah.
really getting inside their
Not
heads.
just the people who like fluffy kittens kind of
Mhm.
demographics, right?
Right. Deeper than that, we're talking about tapping into what makes them tick, what keeps them up at night. And thankfully, our source material today is packed with insights on exactly that. In fact, there's this one idea that just grabbed me right from the start. They say good marketing is about entering the conversation already going on inside the mind of your customer.
Oh, I like that. It's like you're not starting from scratch, you're joining a conversation that's already in progress.
Exactly. It's almost like becoming fluent in their internal dialogue, instead of trying to shout over it with your own message.
What's powerful about that definition is the emphasis on empathy, right? It's not just about understanding what your customer wants on the surface, but the why behind it. Like, what are their underlying anxieties, their aspirations, their hopes, their dreams, maybe even like their secret desires?
It reminds me of that aha moment you get when you stumble across something online and you think, wow, they're totally speaking my language.
Absolutely.
hmm
And the closer you can get to replicating that feeling with your marketing, the more you're going to resonate with your audience.
So then how do we actually do that? Thankfully, our source dives into that too. They talk about the importance of understanding the customer journey.
It's like mapping out the customer's path from the moment they realize, hey, I have a problem, to the moment they hit that buy button.
And of course, that journey can take so many different forms depending on what you're selling, right?
Of course. But this source breaks it down into 3 classic stages that I think apply pretty broadly: awareness, consideration, and then finally, decision.
Like levels in a video game.
Sure. And you're their trusty sidekick, guiding them through each level.
Okay, I'm into it. Walk me through it. What's going on in the awareness stage?
So in the awareness stage, the customer knows something is up. Maybe, maybe their car is making a weird noise, or I don't know if their website is getting 0 traffic, whatever it is. They've got a symptom, but they haven't quite pinpointed the cause or the solution.
So it's like they know something's wrong, but they don't know what to do about it yet.
Exactly. And this is where your content comes in. But crucially, you're not necessarily pushing your product just yet, right? You're building trust, becoming a source of valuable information by guiding them toward a deeper understanding of the problem they're facing.
You're like the helpful expert who's actually looking out for them, not just trying to make a quick buck.
You got it. All right, so now let's say they've gone through that awareness stage, they understand their need. What happens next? Naturally, they start exploring solutions. This is your consideration stage.
This is where the customer is like, okay, I get it. I need to fix this, but what are my options?
Right. And this is your chance to showcase what you've got to offer, but in a way that helps them evaluate all their options, not just yours. Think comparison articles, product demos, customer testimonials, things that answer the questions that are likely swirling around in their heads as they're shopping around.
It's that classic show, don't tell, right? You're demonstrating your value instead of just saying, we're the best, trust us.
Exactly. Now, by the decision stage, they're at a crossroads, right? They're trying to decide what's the best fit for them.
It's decision time. They've got to pick someone.
Right. And this is where you solidify their trust with those extra reassurances, strong guarantees, risk-free trials, maybe even a discount code to sweeten the deal. Basically, anything to tip the scales and show them we're the right choice.
I love it. Okay, so we've got our map of the customer journey, but how do we actually get inside our customer's head to make sure we're hitting those stages authentically? Our source mentioned this really interesting tool. I think they called it empathy mapping.
Empathy mapping is huge GE. It's one of those things that sounds kind of obvious when you say it out loud, but can be really revolutionary when you actually put it into practice.
So like, what is it?
Think of it like this. It's like strapping on a pair of X-ray vision goggles so you can see your customer's world through their eyes. And, crucially, it's about going beyond those basic demographics. It's about really digging into their pain points, their desires, their unspoken anxieties, the things that keep them up at night, what makes them tick.
Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down, but give me an example. Like, how would a business actually use empathy mapping?
Sure. Let's say you're a company that sells, oh, I don't know, plant-based protein bars or something.
Okay, healthy snack company. Got it.
So at first glance, you might think, okay, my customers care about health. They want something that's convenient and tastes good. Done.
Sounds pretty reasonable to me.
Right. But if you really dive deep with empathy mapping, like Really analyze those customer reviews. Look at what people are saying on social media, maybe even do some polls or surveys. You might uncover a hidden pain point that you never would have guessed.
Ooh, like what?
Like maybe you discover that a surprising number of your customers are actually athletes who are really meticulous about their protein intake, but they're also concerned about the environmental impact of their food choices.
So it's not just about being healthy, it's about sustainability too.
Exactly. And all of a sudden your messaging changes. Instead of just focusing on delicious and nutritious, you start highlighting things like sustainable sourcing, low impact packaging, things that might not have even been on your radar before.
Wow. That's such a great point. Speaking of social media and reviews, that's got to be a gold mine of customer insight, right?
Yeah.
I mean, where else do people share their unfiltered thoughts so freely?
Oh, absolutely. Reviews, social media, even forums. They're like a giant free focus group just waiting to be tapped into.
Yeah.
Positive reviews are amazing for social proof, of course, but don't underestimate the negative ones. Seriously. Those negative reviews can be incredibly revealing.
I can see how they might sting a little, though.
Oh, for sure. But they often reveal those blind spots in your product or service that you might not otherwise see. It's like free market research, basically, telling you exactly what you need to tweak, improve, or clarify to better serve your customers.
That's such a good point. Instead of getting defensive, we should be looking at it like, okay, what can we learn from this?
100%. And that brings us to the fascinating world of keywords, which is all about understanding the language your customers are already using.
It's like the old marketing adage, fish where the fish are. Except here, we're talking about speaking the language that your ideal customer speaks.
Exactly. Keyword research is all about figuring out what your potential customers are actually typing into Google when they're searching for solutions to their problems. And let me tell you, there's a ton of data involved, but the cool thing is that there are AI tools now that can analyze all that data way faster and deeper than any human ever could.
That's incredible. So instead of just guessing what words people might be using, you can use data to pinpoint exactly what they're searching for. No more shots in the dark.
Precisely. Think of it like this. You wouldn't use a road atlas from 1985 to navigate your way through a new city today, right? AI keyword tools are like Google Maps for your marketing. They're going to help you find the most direct route to your ideal customer.
I love that analogy. Okay, so to wrap things up, we've covered a ton of ground today, but it seems like if we want to create marketing that truly connects on a deeper level, it all comes back to understanding the customer journey, right?
100%. It's about so much more than just selling a product or service. It's
Yeah.
about building genuine relationships based on empathy and understanding, which ultimately benefits everyone involved.
I am with you on that one.
So here's a little something to ponder for all of you listening. Think about the conversations that are already happening in the minds of your ideal customers. What are their hopes, their dreams, their fears? What are they searching for online? And most importantly, how can you, as a business owner or a marketer, join those conversations in a way that feels authentic, helpful, and valuable?
What a great question to leave us with. Food for thought.